And here we are at 2.6, day 1, page 2. Much shorter now that we've already talked about the different things. We are finding them. All right, so again, first thing we want to do is factor if possible. Well, the x is already factored out, so that's great. X squared minus 25 is x plus 5 times x minus 5, and we have an x minus 5 on the bottom. So the x minus 5's reduce. So vertical asymptotes, well, the x minus 5 reduced, and there's no other factor, so there are no vertical asymptotes. Horizontal asymptotes. Well, the degree on top, if we were to distribute, is a 3 because we have an x cubed, and the degree on bottom is a 1. If the degree of the numerator is bigger than the degree of the denominator, there is no horizontal asymptote. Holes, well, this reduced, so this would give us x equals 5. So there's a hole when x equals 5. So to figure out the actual hole, all I do is plug this in to the reduced. You do to the reduced, so we ignore these because otherwise we'd be dividing by 0. So I plug the 5 in right here, and I just get 5 times 10, which is 50. So I have a hole at the point 550. X-intercepts, well, when does the numerator equal 0? Well, that would be when x equals 0 or when x equals negative 5. So my x-intercepts are 0, 0 and negative 5, 0. Remember, x-intercept, the y value is always 0. And domain, we look at the vertical asymptotes and we look at the holes. Our domain is all real numbers except x cannot equal 5. All right, so D is a little bit different. Write the function in factored form that has the information given below. So we're given this bit of information, and we need to always fill in all the details. So I looked at my asymptotes, I looked at my hole, and said my domain is all real numbers except x cannot equal 1, negative 3, or 5. All right, so I'm now going to use this information to work backwards. First, my vertical asymptotes. That deals with the denominator. I can't divide by 0, so these give me the factors of x minus 1 and x plus 3 in the denominator. We have a horizontal asymptote of 2/3. That means the 2 and the 3 must be leading coefficients. So that's why I put the 2 and the 3 there, the 2 in the numerator, the 3 in the denominator. There is a hole when x equals 5. So that reduces, which means I have an x minus 5 in the denominator, but I also have one in the numerator, because holes occur when you have a factor that reduces. X-intercept is negative 4. Remember, that comes from the numerator. So if the intercept is negative 4, we have an x plus 4 in the numerator. Now here's the trick, though. Notice it's squared. That's because if the horizontal asymptote comes from the leading coefficients, the degree of the numerator has to be the same as the degree of the denominator. And if I were to multiply this out, I have an x cubed. So I need to have x plus 4 squared, so that way I'd have an x squared times x, which would give me x cubed. And that finishes up page 2 of day 1.